past all the ranting, let's start this reaction video. Shout out to Geekdom. He has early information on Dragon Ball Daima. And yeah, let's go ahead and react to it. Make sure this full screen.
All right, everybody, welcome back. My name is Danny. This is Geekdom 101. We talk about all things Dragon Ball, and this is going to be my official Dragon Ball Daima Episode 1 video. Now, you might be wondering, why are you doing a video on Episode 1 if it's not coming out for several more months, almost a year? Well, the reason is because we've gotten some inside information about Episode 1,
Was that in
and
the
I want to
trailer?
give you guys a heads up before Episode 1 starts so that you kind of know what to expect. I know a lot of people have not really been happy with the premise of what this show is going to be, but one thing I will tell you is the story, from what I understand.
Hey guys, comment down below. Does it bother you that, Goku and his friends are all going to be kids again? Yes or no? Me, it doesn't really bother me. And I don't think they're going to be kids the whole time. I think, maybe in the third arc, they might go back to being adults. Or, if people really don't like that they're kids, they might switch it up. But I guess it depends on how many episodes they have done. But me, in my personal opinion, I feel like in the third arc, they'll probably like go back to being adults. So we'll see. The video.
And is not necessarily what you think it is, and it's definitely not going to be GT 2.0, because in this story it doesn't quite go the same way as it does in GT, and we'll talk more about that on this video. But I do want to say that even though Dragon Ball Daima might not be what people were expecting, the good news is that it's not going to have the same problems that Dragon Ball Super had. If you remember, Dragon Ball Super was announced about 3 months before it actually began airing, and when it was announced, they hadn't even done an episode yet. This series was
Mm,
extremely rushed, and that's why you had the production catastrophe that was Dragon Ball Super Episode 5.
I'm not gonna lie, this the most hideous iteration of Goku I ever seen. I don't think it get much worse than this. Like it's
I know
somebody 6-year-old son drew him.
many of you guys remember how horrible that episode looked, and it looked so bad that when the
Hideous.
series creator Akira Toriyama saw the finished product, he complained. And it's really rare for Toriyama to complain about anything because he's a very
That's funny.
relaxed guy in his old age now. But he definitely did complain, and we slowly saw Dragon Ball get better and better when we got to the Goku Black arc, and later on, of course, the Tournament of Power. Obviously, the pinnacle of
Say speaking of, y'all put y'all favorite arc. Like, what was your favorite arc down below? Let me know. I say mine was probably.
production and
I never thought about that. I don't know, but yeah, y'all put y'all down below.
animation in Dragon Ball Super would be Dragon Ball Super Broly. And I can't tell you how many people were telling me they want to see the Dragon Ball Super Broly style of animation and fights in Dragon Ball Super. Well, guess what? Dragon Ball Daima is going to have exactly what you want. If you want Dragon Ball Super Broly but in episode form, you're going to get that with Dragon Ball Daima. I've been told that early on in Dragon Ball Daima, right around the 4th or 5th episode, there's going to be a fight. And the fight and the episode is animated by some of the tippy top dogs at Toei. And many people are very confident that when this fight airs, all those people that aren't excited about Daima will quickly change their minds and want to check it out because they really are putting a lot into that fight. I don't have any information for you on that fight yet, but I do have some information about episode 1 of Dragon Ball Daima.
He said he doesn't have any information on the fight, but how could you have known it would be so good? I'm not trying to, go against him or anything, say something crazy, but I think he allowed to say it, and that's fine. But I feel like he knows something everybody else doesn't. But that's fine.
First and foremost, the first trailer for Dragon Ball Daima came out during New York Comic Con, and from what I understand, about 97%, 95, 97
Hey, did anybody else in this trailer think that that was like
foremost, the
Goku on top
first
of Trunks?
trailer for Dragon Ball Daima came out during New York Comic Con, and from
Mm.
what I
I thought that was. I'm not gonna lie. I thought that was Krillin at first when I first
understand,
saw it. Did anybody else think that was Goku like right there? I could have sworn I thought that was
about
Goku at first.
97%, 95, 97% of that trailer is episode 1. Most of those scenes are from episode 1, and I was
Okay.
told early on that episode 1 was actually finished a while ago as far as the animation side of things go. The good news is that unlike Dragon Ball Super, the animators, the producers, and the voice actors have a huge head start with this one. They have been working on this since late 2021. And that means they were going to have 2 straight years, almost 3 years of solid time to put together a great product. Or at the very least, a great looking product. Obviously, the story is what's going to carry this show, and I hope it's a good one. And I do believe that the story,
Is that
or
a
at least
Supreme
more of
Kai? I just realized that because I never watched it slow down to .12 speed like other people do.
the story, will be revealed in
That's not a shot at just like I just don't do it. I just watch it for face value.
January at the big gaming event, the Dragon Ball gaming event, where Akio Ioku said at New York Comic Con that they would be giving out more information. And as the months go by, we'll obviously get character bios, we'll get an official website opening up, just like what happened in the past with Super and the other recent Dragon Ball projects. All of this is going to be happening in the next few months, and it's going to be exciting again because even though the hype behind this is not quite what it was with Super, I think at the very least it's fun to have new stuff coming out. Now, as far as Daima episode 1, much of it was in the original trailer. I can tell you that there's going to be an animation shift at some point early in the episode. From what I understand, and I haven't seen this with my own eyes yet, so please be aware that this is secondhand information. The episode will start with vintage Dragon Ball Z styled art, likely drawn by Katsuyoshi Nakatsuru, one of the big leads behind this show. So it's gonna look like classic 90s Dragon Ball Z.
It's gonna look a little weird to go from vintage to basically Dragon Ball Super Broly animation. That'll look weird. Maybe I don't know. They'll probably find, but
The good stuff. And then it'll slowly segue into it looking like what Daima will look like, which is more of the modern Toriyama style. It'll still look well, but it'll look more like Broly, the movie, than Dragon Ball Z did back in the day. So, what's supposed to happen is the two, as of right now, unnamed villains are going to put a curse on the good guys. Now, if you look
okay.
at the trailer, it looks like a wish is being made. And because of that, I think a lot of people are thinking that there's going to be a wish made to the dragon to make all of the good guys become kids again. Because in the trailer, it looks like that's what's happening. And it's very similar to what Pilaf did in the first episode of GT to Goku. But that's not the case. From what I understand, and I could be wrong about this, so please be aware I have not seen this with my own eyes, but from what I believe is going on is they're going to get cursed into
Like that little fish person, that looked like if Bobby had like a vicarious stepson. Like that character looks so weird.
I have not seen this with
Like
my own
what?
eyes, but from what I believe is going on is they're gonna get cursed into being children
I was about to make a pronoun joke, but I know I can't do that.
again. In order
That's
to
too
fix
far.
it, they're gonna gather the Dragon Balls and summon the Eternal Dragon Shenlong or Shenron, and the dragon will be unable to reverse the curse because it is a curse from the demon realm and it goes outside of the power of the dragon. So that's what's going to lead
Mhm.
to Goku and the Supreme Kai going off on their adventure, which will begin the at least the first arc of Dragon Ball Daima. Goku and Vegeta are going to be training together up in the
So like he said, that's the first arc where they go off on an adventure to find the person. Does it really take like the whole show to find one person they're looking for? I don't. But that's why I'm saying maybe the first two arcs they'll be kids, but by the third one I don't think they'll be kids anymore. Or maybe in the by the second or third arc, I feel like they won't be kids anymore. This could age horribly, but that's just how I feel.
sacred heavenly realm, which is known as Kami's Lookout in the dub, but the original name for it was the sacred heavenly realm, and that is where the demons will strike. And Goku has to go on an adventure and meet several new characters and go to new locations they've never been to before to find these people to reverse the curse. Toriyama, Shueisha, and Toei Animation,
From the way he worded it, it does sound like it may take up the whole show, but hey, like I said, I still have my opinion.
all three of these entities are very
And if you want to see a video surrounded around that opinion, I'll probably put it down below in the comments or description or whatever I feel.
aware of the story problems that plague Dragon Ball Super. And the idea behind Dragon Ball Daima with Toriyama having to approve scripts, which is the first thing he's done for a Dragon Ball television show ever.
Mm.
He never did that for Dragon Ball or Z or GT or Super. He just wrote the manuscript. Now he's actually having others write the scripts and he is going in and editing them. That's a new one.
Low key, that's the smartest thing you could do because it's like it's so many things that characters say that don't make sense or that contradict something that doesn't happen. Like I think Frieza in the movie said if he trained for 4 months, he could finally reach a power level of 1.3 million. Even though in the Frieza saga, he surpassed that by going to his third form. So yeah, it just doesn't make sense. Now, if he would have said I could get 1.3 million times stronger, okay, that's probably what he actually meant. But whatever.
One, and that's definitely going to keep things more in line with his vision. The problems with the story are probably going to be minimized. I'm not going to sit here and tell you there won't be any plot holes because I don't know if that for a fact, but because you've got Toriyama more heavily involved than he has been ever with a Dragon Ball television show or with an anime, to me, that's at least going to be more consistent. From what I understand, the second trailer is going to give us more details on the story, and hopefully, people will understand at that point what the actual story is going to be and not just assume it'll be another GT because that's not what it's going to be. There will be aspects of the Dragon Ball lore that are going to be explored in this series that have never been explored before, and we're going to go to new
Mm,
locations in the Dragon Ball cosmos that have never been visited
mm.
before. So, if you are a lore master, if you like some of the secrets and mysteries and mythology behind Dragon Ball, Daima might give you what you
Boy, they
want
throwing them
as
hard
much as
ones.
Super did. Also,
I never really got too far in the regular Dragon Ball, but they was really throwing them. I'm gonna have to finish that one day. I think I'm in like the first tournament arc, if I remember. But yeah, they was throwing them hard ones. I gotta watch that.
behind Dragon Ball, Daima might give you what you
Jesus
want
Lord, have
as much
mercy.
as Super did. Also,
He broke his
unlike
leg.
Dragon Ball Super, Dragon
Dying.
Ball Daima will have blood
That must have been when Vegeta TN was evil.
and it will have it in the very first episode of Dragon Ball Daima. I know a
Oh, I
lot
never
of
saw that.
Dragon Ball fans have been unhappy with the absolute lack of blood that Dragon Ball Super had. And I don't think that Dragon Ball fans are necessarily bloodthirsty, but
I'm not
adding blood
bloodthirsty.
to
I
a
don't
fight,
really.
especially with the kind of brutality the fights in Dragon Ball have, just make the fight more meaningful, and it's used as a storytelling tool to illustrate the damage that these fighters are inflicting on each other as they fight. So, as a fan of Dragon Ball who's not some weirdo like gore master, I am perfectly fine with them bringing blood back, and they should, especially when somebody gets
Oh,
popped in the mouth real hard or in the eye. You want to see the blood. You want to see people get chopped up. We want to see the blood because it just makes the most sense. Just realistically speaking, it makes the most sense. Plus, the original manga had tons of blood in it, and Toriyama will be in charge of this series, as well as the
okay.
fact that as of right
Oh
now,
Lord, that
it
is
is
pretty
not
brutal. I
scheduled to
never.
be airing on
Jesus.
Japanese television. It's going to be a streaming anime, and because of that, it feels like they're able to get away with more things, including
Man.
having blood and who knows what else. I want you to leave all of your theories about where you think this show is going to go down below in the comments. And as I get more information, I will continue to make more videos on Dragon Ball Daima and whatever else they announce. For now, I hope you're enjoying the holidays and
All right. Thank you, Geekdom, for the video. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the reactions. Like I said, drop your thoughts down below, and I'll see y'all in the next one. And this real fast. My hotkey should have ended it. Let me see something. All right.